PTG, Proxy Table Gaming, Lucky Sixes, and Hyper G.
Konnichiwa.
Oh, I was expecting it, to be fair. I was expecting it. Very good. Oh, and that as well. That as well, very respectful. I assume respectful. I mean, it might actually be a slur.
Yeah.
We don't know their culture.
I had literally no idea.
No. But we're in Art of War. We're with the Bristol Ninjas and all their friends. And all our friends. And the whole community.
Lots of friends.
Yeah.
Friends.
In Bristol.
Wargaming friends.
Yeah. And round one has begun. You were
Yes.
over in a corner.
I was.
Not really fighting off Vermin Swarm.
Yeah, having a non-game, basically.
But a successful non-game, really.
Yeah, in the grand scheme
6
of
points
things.
gained,
A
wasn't
good,
it?
good experience and a very tactical battle and a fun one against Andy Catlow. Go check it out.
Yeah, absolutely. Very much so. Yes, and I got James McDonell using Warriors. James is a staple of Team Ireland, as far as I'm aware, and someone who I've always wanted to play against. Had a few interactions on the forum, not directly, and always thought, funny we haven't come across each other.
Yeah, we'll have to get him on the channel for a chat because he's on every other podcast going.
Yeah, exactly.
At one point or another, he's been a co-host, so
yeah.
Stay tuned for when James McDonell becomes a co-host of PTG.
I reckon so. I reckon that'd be great. Yeah. And obviously, you can comment on this report because he's heavily involved in it.
Yes. Yeah.
Potentially 50% involved in it, but we'll see whether that is how it works out. So, my Saurians going into Art of War. Really looking forward. This is the first tournament with new Saurians. Obviously, I've played a fair few battles with them, including the USA matches.
Yeah.
And
a practice against me as well.
A practice against you, a few other games here and there, which we haven't had time to report on because we just had so many tournaments.
Yeah, we're tournament
masters and everything.
Tournament focus.
Indeed. So shall we see what I was taking at this version? So I've got my Anarch Archmage using Divination because I always decide not to take Divination for a tournament. So this time I'm taking Divination to a tournament. Like, I don't know how many tournaments I've swapped Divination for Alchemy at the last minute and then not regretted it, but always thought to myself, should have taken Divination.
Yeah.
And so Rodabout, Teopori Smokestone, which just means that if you fail a break test, you can cause the opponent to have minimized overrun and charge range rolls. Pretty cool. It's like the panic button, basically. Then Forbidden Mastery for an extra 2 pyro spells. So he is rocking 7 spells just on his own.
Really nice.
Really nice. Then we have the Tegu Veteran, which is kind of a build I've played for a long while now, months as opposed to years. He's the Shield Willow's Ward, Spear with Glory of the Dawn Age, Light Armor, Vital Essence, and Ranger's Boots. So he's 2 up, 4 up in terms of defense.
Pretty good.
Yeah, the Spear is nice because it does multiple wounds 2 if you wound with a 5 up or more. And
make it what agility does it make him if you charge him?
If you charge him, he is agility 5.
Nice.
Yeah, so not bad for a Saurian at all. Then I got a Skink Veteran with the Poison Javelin and Infiltrator's Dart. He's been added purely because of the scenario that I needed 3 characters.
Yeah.
So I dropped a unit of Skink Gorillas and put a Skink Veteran in. Basically, similar points.
He is that guy.
He is that third character. And he gives...
You see on the screen.
Yeah, absolutely. And he gives me an extra Toad Rage thing. Whatever it's called these days. Predator Senses thingy. Which is kind of cool. So I've got a few units that make use of those. And my big block of Tegu Warriors, I don't think I've ever not played these with Saurians in the last few iterations.
Well, there's not a huge... There's a bit more choice now. But...
Yeah, a bit more choice now. But this is like my trademark, if ever there is one, with Saurians, is a big block of Spear Tegu Warriors, Enclave Wizard for Awaken the Beast, and a Banner of Speed to give them movement 5 so they can come at you if they need to. Then I've got a small scoring unit of Tegu Warriors with Champion. Double Awaken the Beast for the Divination range extension. I know I can't cast that twice. Then to round out core, I've got 10 Skink Hunters as a chaff unit, really. And then my big block is the Temple Guard Project, now called the Tegu Guard Project.
I mean,
great weapons.
You moaned about them being expensive before. 911 points.
I know, yeah. Funnily enough, I've decided that's worth it for this version.
Whoa.
And Koru's stone as well, so they're my BSB. And wow, it's pretty bricky, you know, on top of the fact that I've got a 700-point core unit. Yeah. 10 Raptor Riders with light lances, champion Stunner Bearer with a banner of speed as well, hiding behind my skink dude. And then the Thyroscutus, who has the Great Protector, Lodestone Shield, he goes in with the Tegu Warriors. So that core unit bumps up to 1,000 points right there.
Yeah.
Skipping the Ramphidons, then the Carnosaur goes in with the Raptor Riders to make that unit 850 points.
So it's literally 300 3 units of like 850
Nearly,
plus.
Yeah.
Well, actually, units. Where does the Anorak?
The Anorak goes in with the Tegu Guards. So they are 1,500 points.
Wow. Blocks.
Yeah. So I am playing 3 blocks. Then I've got some Ramphidons, who are only 3 of them because you can't fit any more with the list I'm playing. Yeah.
Because you've got 3 blocks.
I've got 3 chaff and some characters and then an extra unit of scoring. Yeah, that's me.
Boom.
Love it. Love it. Really enjoying this list so far. So I was looking forward to seeing what it could do. James has got Exalted Herald, EH. We all know about them. I've had many discussions about them with you in the last few months. So, yeah, know what they can do. He's got a Doom Lord. I haven't seen a Doom Lord in a while. So Trophy Rack, Spike Shield with Dustforged, Hellforged Armor, Gladiator Spirit. I do kind of remember what all of these do. Great Weapon, Cleansing Light, Crystal Ball, Obsidian Rock. So he is killy.
He's 1-up rerollable.
1-up rerollable.
No Aegis.
No Aegis, but he's got a great weapon, which means he will attack last.
Which can have Flaming and Divine.
And Divine, yeah.
And
Divine, yeah.
Gladiator Spirit gives him parry.
I think that means parry, yes. And he can already use, because he's a Doom Lord, he can use a great weapon with a shield together. So he is 1-up rerollable with a great weapon. Because obviously the Spike Shield is on. Dustforged is on the shield. He can use that alongside a great weapon. So pretty fearsome. But I definitely homing in on the fact that I would attack him first. So can I kill him before he kills me? Is what I'm thinking going into this. He's got 2 sorcerers, both adepts, 1 alchemy, 1 evo. 21 warriors with paired weapons, gluttony and full command. Gluttony every weapon, I think, or is that greed? No. Gluttony is +1 strength when they win a combat.
When they win a combat, it's a simplified, buffed version this time around. Because it used to be they have to win a combat and then a pursue or something like that.
Yeah,
or not pursue, or I don't know.
So now, if you're going to chaff them, do it at the end of the game.
Yeah.
Because if you chaff them early, you just ramp them up for the whole battle. 10 Fallen, who are probably a bunker for the sorcerers. The 8 Warhounds chaff. 1 unit of 4 chosen knights. So only 1 unit. I mean, some people do only take 1 unit. Paired weapons, great weapon, halberd, that's on greed. He's got the Wasteland Torch, so there's Strider Ruins, and he can change the forest into ruins, which is cool. 4 Feldrax with halberds. They've got the Banner of Discipline, so I'm guessing they're kind of like scoring flank sort of thing, and pretty bricky. And then 6 Forsworn. I haven't seen Forsworn in even longer amount of time. They've got an Aether Icon, which combined with the Obsidian Rock on the Doom Lord, and Spike Shields, so they had 2-up armor as well. So pretty tough. It's a very fighty list, but with my blocks, I was feeling like I can fight this.
Mate, if you're going to fight warriors, your list is the one to do it.
Yeah, and I had the magic to buff me up. So I was feeling like, yeah, I can fight.
Yeah, man.
So Warriors I didn't feel like it was terrible. We are playing Bring Your Goblin to Work Day, which was probably talked about more in Lucky Six's report. So rather than go through that again, I'm going to tease you by saying, if you haven't watched Lucky Six's round 1, go and watch that for a full rundown. And we'll see where we put our goblins, basically. And I'll start with that as the topic. I put my goblin with my Tegu guard, who are front and center, with the Anorak just chilling out behind there. So that's the green dice. He put his on the Forsworn with his Doom Lord. So that's his unit on the left-hand side.
Yep.
Which I'll go through now. So he's got an Exalted Herald hiding behind the provocatively shaped terrain piece.
It is, yeah. Is that ice on your battlefield, or are you just pleased to see it?
Exactly. Yes, there's an EH hiding behind that. There is then the Forsworn with the Doom Lord in. I have Toad Raged them for Predator Senses, so I get rerolls to hit against them. That's a bluff. And then he's got his Warriors. Did you hear that, or did that not come through the microphone?
No, I heard it. Yeah.
Oh, good. Okay. Yeah. He's got the Warriors, the Gluttony Warriors, and he's got the Fallen with his Sorceress behind them. I've also got a Toad on the Fallen behind, if I can get around, so I can go Sorcerer hunting. He's got his dogs in the forest, then he's got his Fell Drax, and then he's got his Chosen Knights. Yeah.
What did he take for his Herald?
For his Herald? Oh, blimey.
I imagine Sorcerer Immortal because he had Graves Cool.
Yeah. He had Smite the Unbeliever.
Smite the Unbeliever, so that's Abiding Spirit.
Yeah.
So hard target.
And he had... Yeah. I can't remember what else he had. I was surprised by it, though. He didn't take Breath of Corruption. And I thought that could have rinsed my Raptor Riders. So I was pleased he didn't have Breath of Corruption. He definitely has Hellfire. He definitely has Smite.
But you only have
so
two
Hellfire
spells.
And Smite is...
Yeah, but Hellfire you can have on anything. So.
Yeah, exactly. So that doesn't give us too many clues. But yeah. So he didn't have Gravecool, as far as I'm aware.
Interesting.
Yeah, and then in my deployment, I got the Ramphidons on the flank. I can't remember if they vanguarded to there. They might have already vanguarded. Then the Tegu Warriors with the Dawn Spear dude in the front right with his little non-spear holding up in the air. Then I got the Skink guy hiding in between them and the Tegu Guard. Behind them, they've got the scoring unit. And I have blue-tacked my old Skink Priest models onto a base to become the Enclaves. Nice. In protest at no Skink Priests existing in the book anymore. So yeah, they are on with blue tack because that is a work in progress kind of thing. So, then the Raptor Riders with the Carnosaur in there and the Skink Hunters on the right-hand side, ready to go. I think that this is terrain as it was, and James did not change it. So he chose not to change any of them into ruins.
Oh. So this is a ruins here or an impassable?
It was already there. It was already ruins.
It is ruins then?
It was already ruins, and he's got his Chosen Knights with the Strider ruins right on the other side of it. So
okay.
Yeah, he basically decided not to change any of the forests into ruins.
Fair enough.
And yeah, so that's just another angle of how it looks.
And the march.
And he comes at me. He's got turn 1, which I was fine with. I think we actually played around like drop for drop, and then he won the roll off.
Fair enough.
Either that or I won the roll off and gave him first turn, which is also a possibility. Because I was actually trying to get second without dropping for it, if that makes sense. Because I wanted to get my matchups rather than getting a particular turn order.
Sure.
And James moves forward quite aggressively, basically just closing the distance. Everything's staying pretty much where it was. The Herald goes around the impassable to get a line of sight, long-ranged magic shot on someone. We'll see what he attempts to do. He attempts to do a Hellfire into the Ramphidons, which I dispel, because I don't want the Ramphidons taking too much punishment early doors. And then he gets Smite the Unbeliever to reduce the strength of my Tegu Warriors. And they weren't going to fight anyone, and there was no more range coming. Yeah. So I just was fine with that. That's no problem at all. I whiz up I whiz up on both sides. One with the Ramphidons on the left-hand side. They managed to march so far up that the Exalted Herald can't see them. And I'm also not facing him, so that I'm not frenzy checked.
Yeah.
Charging him, basically. So I was really happy that I could get out of that line of sight. Yeah, man. Work my way round towards the Fallen, and the Sorcerer block is their target, pretty much. On the other side, my Skink Hunters make the noble sacrifice that they're here to do all tournament and go and chaff the Chaos Chosen Knights and the Feldrax at the same time.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, really happy with that. I mean, obviously his Chosen Knights aren't going to take any DTs for the ruins, but I was just happy to keep them at bay. I wasn't thrilled about the idea of charging my raptors into the Chosen Knights afterwards, because it's a lot of DTs in the ruins. But I was intrigued to see how James dealt with this, because I didn't have to charge him, even if he did take out those skinks.
Yeah.
So I was just seeking the initiative, really. And yeah, over here, just a shot of that, and similarly, shot of that. In other movement, I just moved my skink ready to be the next chap.
Yeah.
And I don't. Oh, I think I did a wound or two with a ranged spell on the Feldrax. Can't remember what it was exactly, but it wasn't a lot in terms of magic from turn 1. He charges his Chosen Knights into my skinks, and he backs off with the Feldrax, which is fine and probably expected, to be fair. He moves his Exalted Herald right in front of the Ramphrodon, so I will have to take a frenzy check. Whatever will be, right? I'll either fail a frenzy check and die, or I'll pass a frenzy check and run the hell away from him. Yeah, pretty much. He minces a lot of the skinks, but I get away because he doesn't pursue. He basically just reforms to expect the oncoming charge. And that's to maximize the amount of raptors I would have to go through the ruins.
Yeah.
The last thing he wants is to run down some skinks and get past the ruins, and then I'd countercharge with everything. So he kind of had to let the skinks go. Definitely. And I was just delighted I still had 3 left. So
yeah,
it's a result for me. So I do something a little bit tricksy, and I charge the Carnosaur in solo.
Nice.
Which means I avoid any of the ruin tests. We have slightly moved the ruins in order to allow his Chosen Knights to stand where they should be. Basically, it would just flipped it 90 degrees, but the Carnosaur could get round it without doing any tests. And the good thing about the Carnosaur is that, actually, thinking back, did the Chosen Knights have great weapons?
They had everything. So
they had everything, yeah.
They can choose anything.
Yeah, so I was thinking that if he chooses halberds, then I'm hoping to just survive in order to use my multiple wounds too. If he chooses great weapons, then I'll be attacking first, and I'll hoping to kill a few Chosen Knights before he attacks. And if he chooses paired weapons, then he's not very high strength, and I should be able to survive that based on my resilience. So really, halberds is his worst choice from my perspective, but it's worth a risk. And I've still got a whole magic phase where I can boost up my
the magic's important.
So there was that. I should mention, of course, that the previous turn he'd got Ancestral Aid on them, which does mean that if those Chosen Knights do attack, my Carnosaur's in a bit of trouble.
Reroll to hit
a lot of damage.
Yeah.
And so I buff him up to as much as I possibly can. I couldn't get any resilience buff spells onto him. I think James stopped them, and the others weren't in range because Awaken the Beast, a bit far for it to go. But I did get Know Thy Enemy and Rod of Battle off, and Know Thy Enemy means I was attacking at the same time.
Okay, so you're 3 to 5.
Yes, 3 to 5, and Chosen Knights are 5. So even if he uses halberds now, I'm attacking at the same time. And I'm okay with an exchange of wounds, because I think I might have more chance of surviving than he does.
Sure.
I do multiple wounds too.
Yeah.
And Rod of Battle means I'm hitting on 3s, which is awesome.
Really good.
Yeah.
That's the hard part.
That's the hard part. And I rally my skinks. But in the combat, if you're hitting on 3s, don't roll 1s and 2s.
Brutal.
Really, really annoying.
But you still killed one.
I still killed one because I got battle focus.
Yeah.
And basically meant I did 2 wounds. So yeah, I got 1 dead. But it's not enough to reduce any of their attacks. So I'm now thinking,
and they're steadfast.
That is not the exchange I wanted, because I haven't taken my attacks back at this stage. But James rolls Whiff-tastic as well, and my Carnosaur only takes 2 wounds. So that's a result.
Yeah.
The only I mean, it's a result in terms of not dying, but let's be honest, I didn't really want to be sticking there.
And he'll be going first next time.
Exactly, he's going first next time because I'm only agility 4 off the charge. So I think it's less of a disaster for James than it is for me, because really I wanted to kill 2 or 3 of them over the course of 2 combats.
At least if you died now, he gets to charge you now. So
if I died now,
yeah. So
yeah, true. So it is bad for him as well that he's whiffed. Yeah. And considering he was re-rolling his hits, it's pretty unlucky for him. Yeah, don't be confused that those magic spells are on the skins.
But I guess In other news, because this was your
In other
turn.
news, I passed my frenzy check, and so leg it over towards my quarry, which means in James's third turn, he's got to turn his fallen around with his sorcerers to face my oncoming Ramphrodons.
Yeah.
Yeah. What it will mean in my turn 3, I've got to do a goblin check on the Ramphrodons. So, eek.
And the frenzy.
And a frenzy, yes. But the frenzy's fine because they want to charge the
Yeah.
fallen anyway. So,
but otherwise, he just sort of shuffles.
otherwise, he moves forward. The Feldrak's still keeping a little bit tentative. He's aware I've still got my chaff. The 3 skinks are still alive, which is great for me.
Yeah.
But he didn't close the distance as much as he could with his warriors and his forsworn. So I'm thinking, okay, so he's waiting for the Carnosaur thing to finish out. But
I think he's done the homework on your big blocks.
I'm a little bit dubious as to why he hasn't moved too far forward there. So at this point, I was thinking, okay. So yeah, into my turn 3.
Lots of magic.
Oh yeah, more magic on the Chosen Knights, and that pretty much means my Carnosaur is dead.
Yeah,
you know. Sure enough, he is dead, but he gets to attack, which is hilarious. Yeah, how's that happened? How did I kill 2 of his?
Did you say you were going at the same time?
No. Oh no, yes I am. I'm still 5. Oh yes, that's right. Yes, I'm wrong. I'm agility 6 on the charge.
Right. Okay.
So on the charge, I was going before him.
Yeah.
Which made my whiff even worse in the first turn. But now I'm agility 5.
Okay.
It's 3 up to
Makes
5.
sense.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Which meant I get to attack, even though he was still going. So I killed way more this time round. So pretty much new to the unit. They've only got 2 wounds left, and basically there was that.
Well, that was a spot of luck.
Spot of luck in the second round of combat, absolutely. So for some reason he's still got a Chosen Knight there. I'm not really sure how that's happened. When I was looking at the pictures, I was like, why has he still got 2 Chosen Knights?
Well, we'll see later.
But yeah.
But going on to your turn?
Going on to my turn, Ramphrodons, they fail a Goblin check. So I am 1-0 down on the Goblin check, which is disappointing. But in more important news, they make the charge into the Fallen. They don't fail the Frenzy check. I would have probably preferred it the other way around, fail the Frenzy because they were going to charge anyway. But they are going for it. And Fallen are no joke, obviously. They can give out the hurt. But I am attacking first, and I have got Predator senses on them. So I'm hoping to do a lot of damage. And I'm AP2 as well, so their plate armor isn't really going to come into it too much. This is me. I don't move too much forward really. My Saurian, my Tegu block on the left is slowly moving forwards. I actually wouldn't mind if he charged his Forsworn into them, because I think I can win that combat one-on-one. But what I don't want to do is have a warrior unit in my flank at the same time.
Yeah.
So I'm closing the distance and thinking to myself, I don't think James is coming at me.
It's all very tentative.
It's all very tentative. So I've got to make more of a move if I want this. And I want this. So, yeah, we'll see what happens.
You chaff?
I chaff the Chosen Knights again, yeah. Oh, in fact, that's coming up in a minute. That's beautiful what I do. Yeah, for some reason, ignore that picture. I'll move on to the next one. Here goes Skinks. Poison javelins. Good lads.
Boom, baby.
666 with 3 poison javelins. And James goes and fails 2 armor saves. Which means, we must have got the amount of wounds done wrong in the previous combat. So we pulled one back on. Or something or other. He removes a Chosen Knight because of that, leaving him with just 1. It does mean that Chosen Knight is not chaffed, though. But, he's only 1 Chosen Knight now. So I'm actually thinking if he does charge with anything, I'll get the points for it.
Yeah, man.
I'd much rather that than him run away. My Ramphrodons go mental on the Fallen.
Mate. That's amazing.
And kill exactly 10 Fallen.
That's insane. That's
before they strike. The sorcerers both come back at me and kill a Ramphrodon in return, but I am more than happy with that.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, my Ramphrodons do not run down the sorcerers. He rolls like an 11 with his flea.
Yeah.
So they're all the way out over there. Yeah, I do manage to overrun into the dogs though, so I'll get their points as well, even without the toads.
So in that regard, with him rallying, because the
Yeah,
unit is gone, they count as a unit themselves, or because they were
yeah.
with a unit,
No,
do they?
if there was one fallen left, which is impossible because don't they die fallen on the way out?
I can't remember, but yeah.
Yeah. But no, they count as on their own discipline now because it's just them in the unit.
Mm.
If there was one fallen left, if that's possible,
Yeah.
then they would have been running for days.
But you're into
So
the dogs, so that's good.
yeah, I got the fallen points. So Ramphadons are on a tear. I like that. He charges. Yeah. Oh, James. It was so unfortunate. He charges with his chosen knight, single chosen knight, into the skinks. I flee because, you know, I've got a chance of leading him towards my raptors at this point and guaranteeing that I'll get the chosen knight. And he rolls 2 DTs, double one on his ruins because the standard bearer is dead.
Oh,
So he no longer has Strider in ruins.
that's unfortunate.
It was just the champion left, and he rolled a double one. And so not only have my skinks fled and got away, and still my chaff is alive.
Oh, that's insane.
But they've also single-handedly caused 4 wounds on a unit of chosen knights.
That's insane.
I mean, that's actually almost. In fact, yeah, the Carnosaur did 5 wounds. Did he do 5 wounds? No, the Carnosaur did 7. But still, the Carnosaur doing 7 and the Skinks doing 4 wounds to that chosen knight unit.
Yeah,
that's something
insane.
not quite right there. So James was really unlucky. And this is James's reaction to the rest of it. He's still not moving. Lucky sixes. He's still not coming at me, and he rallies the sorcerers. I'm very much thinking the game's up now, James. You're not coming to get me, are you? I have got the chosen knights points, and that's good.
Yeah,
for the points tally.
Big up there. But you are 1-0 down on the objective.
I am 1-0 down, so I do need to make a move towards that goblin. He moves his Exalted Herald out of line of sight of this unit. I'm okay with that. I do need to keep an eye on it, though. And he gets Hellfire and kills 3 of them, and that's fine. Plenty more where that came from. So in my turn 4, I've had enough of this moseying about. I declare a charge. It's not a difficult charge. I think it was a 6 or a 7.
Yeah.
I've got a movement banner. I really hope not to fail that because I'll be flapping if I do. I don't fail it, so great. But like I said, I was very concerned about the flank warriors into my spear block. So I move single skink, runs forward, and he is stopping the warriors from getting into the flank of my spears. It's one of those arc things, like he literally can't complete the charge, and so he has to charge my skink in the front. So that extra character, I'll tell you what, my skinks are doing very well right now.
Ramphadons went through the dogs?
Went through the dogs, and I was really tempted to not pursue with the Ramphadons because the dogs actually get away. You can see them on the right, depending on where we are. And I was really tempted to not pursue so that I could chaff the warriors with my Ramphadons. But I realized I could chaff the warriors with my skink. And if my Ramphadons pursued the dogs, A, I might catch the dogs and get their points. And B, I would overrun it to the Feldrax. And all I need to do with the Feldrax is survive 1 turn to stop him charging with his Feldrax in the next turn. I don't expect my Ramphadons to win that combat in any way. All I want them to do is to survive against 2 Feldrax fighting back. Is my thinking, to stop them charging in James's turn. So don't be fooled into thinking that I buffed the skink. Don't be fooled. This seems to be my combo again. Know thy enemy and Rod of Battle were the 2 spells I was able to get off. I think again James is stopping the resilience stuff. And it means I get through the hitting stuff, which is cool. And it does mean that I'm attacking before, I think at the same time as the Forsworn. Everything's attacking before the Doom Lord. But yeah, I'm pretty pleased about that. And Rod of Battle is awesome because I've got Lodestone as well, so I'm hitting on 2s. Over here, we do this combat first because I desperately need to find out whether or not the Feldrax can charge next turn. And my Ramphadons managed to hang on by a single wound.
That's crazy.
They hang on. I don't do much to the Feldrax, but I do pass my my break test.
Yeah.
And I know that the Ramphrodons failed a Goblin to work test, but they have done very well.
Doing work.
They're nearly burnt out now.
Yeah.
They're like literally bottom of the tank in terms of energy.
If you hadn't have gone into them, could you have gone into the sorcerers potentially?
Yes, and I would have still had them toaded.
Yeah.
So there was multiple reasons to consider whether or not the Ramphrodons should have overrun into the Veldrax or not. Because potentially I could have got more points by killing the sorcerers.
Yeah. But you risked it.
Risked it for a biscuit. Yeah, paid off in that sense. In this combat, so James's dice are shown on the left-hand side because there was a few things that happened here. So my veteran was attacking first because of know thy enemy and all sorts. And I thought that his Doomlord was on the left of this picture in his unit.
Right.
On the left. And so my veteran attacked first into the unit.
Right, okay. Which you couldn't have done it.
That's technically wrong because the character doesn't have swirling melee, so I shouldn't have been able to attack the unit.
Yeah.
But I whiff massively on my multiple wounds too, and do like a single wound to the Forsworn with my veteran.
Right.
And then I attack with my everything else attacks, and we pretty much have a pillow fight, and hardly anything dies. You can see like literally, I think I did 4 wounds overall to the Forsworn.
Sure.
And James's Forsworn did almost as bad, killing only 3 Tegu warriors. Yeah. So it was just ridiculous. And then James gets his dice out for his Doomlord and says, I'm going to attack your Tegu veteran. I was like, oh, I don't think you're in touch with my Tegu veteran. We didn't have a duel. And he says, oh no, my Doomlord's over on this side. And I was like, oh shit. And I didn't actually think that my attacks were therefore illegal. That didn't really come up in my brain because I did so bad in the hits. Sure. But I definitely would have tried to kill the Doomlord if I'd have known I was in contact with him.
Yeah.
And then the dice just go super, we don't want James to win this battle. Because it was just so harsh. He was hitting on 4s against my veteran. And because I know that enemy.
Oh, yeah.
And I basically don't even take a hit. So, very lucky because I think my veteran really struggles against his flaming strength. I don't know how much.
Because you're fortitude.
Because of my fortitude, yeah. So my arm, I think I would have had a 6-up armor save against his 5 attacks. But hitting was the hard part, and unfortunately James didn't manage it. So that kind of blip in terms of who I should have attacked, and
didn't matter.
It kind of resolved itself by us just not being able to roll dice.
Yeah.
But it's definitely more in my favour than it is in James's. So, fortunately my veteran didn't kill many of his Forsworn, so that wasn't too bad that I was attacking the wrong enemy. Into James's 5th turn, I think it is now. He charges the warriors into my skink. At this point, I remember, they're now going to be +1 strength. So there's that. But,
not much you can do then there.
I'm hoping to finish off the Forsworn now. He says, having done nothing to them last turn. And the Veldrax obviously can't charge.
Do the dogs rally?
The dogs lemon rally, so do the sorcerers. So that was I got half points for him. But so not a lot of points been given out really yet. He kills the Ramphrodons, obviously. Ramphrodons were brilliant. They did so well. Kills the skink.
Despite the buffs?
Despite the buffs that are not on him. Yeah, absolutely. Which is fair enough. And he overruns, but he doesn't quite hit the skinks. And you may also notice in the picture there are no Forsworn left anymore.
What?
Because my Tegu veteran, who now has to attack his Doomlord, chomp.
Kills him. Oh my!
He obviously
lethal strike.
All sorts. I think I did like 6 wounds to him in one go.
Whoa.
And he basically saved up his multiple wounds too for the combat that he actually attacked who he should have done.
Yeah.
So that was a result. The Forsworn are nothing without the Doomlord. That's a bit harsh, isn't it? But
nothing.
Kill them off as well. Don't even need to run them down. Literally, my unit wakes up.
You just kill them.
just kill them.
Wow,
that's how badly I rolled in the first one. Because I was hitting on 2s, and I was wounded on 4s, with AP 2, I think.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like you're only AP 2 now, so like to kill like he had 4.
I think the Thyroscutus also did a crush attack.
Yeah, nice.
To help out. So yeah,
I think it's more you've rolled hot this turn than not rolled badly last turn.
Possibly. Yeah. I mean, there were only 5 Forsworn left, and one of them was bleeding at the end of the last turn. So I think that was only 13 wounds, but still, yeah,
it's with at least a 4 up. It means you've done 26 on average.
Yeah, it meant I didn't have to think about pursuing them as well, which is awesome.
Yeah.
So loving that. Yeah. So
you turn around.
I turn around.
Turn next.
And it's my turn next to charge into the rear of the warriors, which I obviously do. I mean, I could have chosen to go into the Feldrax, but with this skink unit somehow still alive, I do not know how that skink hunter unit is.
Considering your list doesn't really have chaff, your chaff's done very, very good.
I know, hasn't it? Just, I mean, the Ramphanons, of course, got most of my points for me, and the skinks have just played such a big part in this one. Yeah, this is after combat. My Saurian block take a bit of a pounding because he's got paired weapon warriors, strength 5. So they're still good, and there's still I don't know whether I got know thy enemy off again or not. But I caused the warriors to run away. They run through my units, take a few hits as well. I did actually pursue. It doesn't look like it because I think I rolled really low on my pursuit.
Sure.
And he rolled really high to get through my units. So. Yeah. There's that.
It does look like it's turned this forest into ruins as well.
Oh yeah, good point. Yeah, that was forest at the start, wasn't it? Yeah, it hasn't really played a factor because my Tegu guard haven't been marching.
Yeah.
And they've literally just been turning around on the spot to face whatever's there because the Exalted Herald hasn't.
Yeah, you don't need to worry about the Herald, I don't think.
No, he basically turned down the flank charge because my Tegu guard were facing him. Basically, he charges the Feldrax into the chaff, so the chaff probably won't survive the battle, unfortunately. And yeah, that's all he can really do in his turn. He does not rally his warriors behind my lines
because it's 5 from 21. So
exactly, yeah. So he's on half discipline, and he doesn't rally, which is very good. So it's a lot of points for me. But I do lose the skink hunters, so there is that. And then, this is the last picture.
Because he went first, so
he went first, yeah. Into my turn. I could have declared a raptor charge on his Feldrax, but
no need.
I don't want to die for that.
But you did lose the objective.
I did lose the objective 1-0, because any test that James had to take at the start of his turn when I charged, after I'd charged with my block, he passed, which is fair enough. So I lost 1-0. How do Saurians lose that objective?
Yeah, I don't know how you did that.
I mean, cold-blooded and
all day you win that, but yeah.
I know.
Nonetheless,
points-wise, got a fair few points out of it. And yeah, the objective brings it back from a 15-5 to a 12-8. So I have to say James's dice were so bad in that battle. So bad. And I said to him afterwards, there was a few times that I rolled well, like against the Forsworn in the second turn of combat, and the 3 6s when he then rolled 2 1s on his armor for the Chosen Knights. That was ridiculous. But other than that, I didn't really. I mean, I had my share of bad luck in Carnosaur, not rolling to hit very well as well. But none of my pros and cons.
It's a dice game.
Yeah. Don't you know it? Yeah, but none of my pros and cons mattered because James was consistently awful dice the whole battle. And so I cannot stress that enough, that fair play, he did not let it affect his mood at all. He was disappointed, but he could have thrown up a right stink, and he definitely didn't. So nice one, James. You held it together despite having such terrible dice. So, and I think, you did win the objective, so well done on that score. And I was more than happy to not take more than 12 out of that one.
Fair enough. But yeah, I think before the tournament, we thought that Saurians have a pretty nice time against Warriors. And it appears he thought that as well.
Yes, because he just didn't come at me other than the little tease with the Chosen Knights, which obviously went my way thanks to some crazy chaff.
Yeah.
Although I did lose a Carnosaur in return. So what's the chosen knight unit before?
600.
Yeah, so the Carnosaur's 400. So it's a relatively even exchange overall. Well, not really, but yeah. So yeah, Ramphadon's also starting well. So maybe I just got to take 3 of them instead of 4, and toad the right units, basically.
That's it.
And pass frenzy checks.
Pass frenzy checks. Yeah,
they all work in your favour. But they did lose the objective, damn them. So yeah. Cool. So I really enjoyed that. It was a good battle. Thanks, James. You were a great opponent as well. Good start for the Art of War 5. So yeah, I've got double your points, sucker.
Yeah, man. Smashing me at the minute.
Yeah, but we'll go into round 2, where I'm sure all can change. Give me some comments on what your thoughts are on that. Do you agree that James's dice were absolutely woeful? And yeah, how much did it matter that my Tegu veteran didn't attack his Doomlord in the first turn of combat? Because it was one of those really bad situations where I was like, I really wanted to attack the Doomlord and I didn't realize I had to, but I whiffed anyway. And then he rolled his dice and whiffed as well. So it was like, oh my god, this game is stupid. So yeah, there you go. Cool. Roll on round 2.
Yeah, man.
Who you got?
I have got some guy, really.
You can't remember.
I can't know. I'm too out of it.
Well, I've got Ryan Amiri, King of Rectane.
King of
I've never
Rectane.
played against Ryan, so I'm really looking forward to that one as well.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh no, I do know who I've got. I've got Mr. Ross Stevenson.
Ah, yes,
from
with ogres.
Bristol Ninjas themselves. So it was,
yes.
Haven't played in a long time. Excited to play him.
Yeah, good stuff. He's not wearing his ninja outfit this year. Very
He's
disappointed,
not,
Ross.
no.
I mean, what are you playing at?
Yeah, but we'll talk more about that and that. In the meantime, like, share, subscribe. Check out our Patreon, especially for upcoming stuff. We're going to do a bit more with them regarding, for sure, our mega battle, and then a bit more after that. We think. So if you want to be a part of that and want to show your support that way, then by all means do and join our Patreon. Otherwise, all the social medias and blah blah blah, and like, share,
blah 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 blah.
Do click the buttons though; it does help us a little bit.
Yeah. That 46% of you that watch without subscribing, we're talking to you.
Apparently, yeah.
Cool, awesome. All right, let's move on. See you next time, and hit it.
See you later.